Welcome everyone, this is Katie. Today's topic is percents. Starting with definition, what is a percent? Percent means something out of 100. Another name for hundreds. For example, 77% means 77 out of 100, which means 77 over 100. And it can also mean 0.77. Percents can be whole numbers, like a 77%, or sometimes it can be a fractional percent. There can be a fractional percent, which means fractional percents can include a portion of a percent. For example, you could have 1/2%, or you could have 0.52%, or you can also have more than 100. For example, 135 and 1/7%. So percent can be whole numbers, and it can also be a fractional percent. Using some examples, I'm going to show you how to convert fractions to decimals and percents, decimals to fractions and percent, and fractions to decimals and fractions. So basically, we're going to try to convert fractions, decimals, and percents, vice versa. Using some examples, we're going to practice converting fractions, decimals, and percents. So let's start with converting fractions to decimals. So we have 1/20, and we're going to try to change that to decimal form. So how do we do that? To get to the percent, we're going to try to change the denominator as 100. Okay, so, and we're going to try to figure out what number will go on the numerator. So 20 can be changed to 100 by multiplying by 5. So we're going to do that to the numerator as well to get the answer. 1 times 5, that will be 5. So that means 1/20 is 5%. And in decimal form, it's 0.05. Let's do another one. What if you have 81/200? Okay, so 200 is bigger than 100, so you could either make denominator as 1,000 by multiplying by 5, or you could change the denominator to 100 by divided by 2. And you do the same thing on the numerator. So 81 divided by 2 is 40.5. So we got 40.5 in the numerator. So in percent form, it is 40.5%, and in decimal form, it's 0.405. So how do we get the decimal in how do we get the decimal value from the numerator? The step is really simple. We just need to move the decimal point 2 times to the left side, like this. And our new decimal point will be before the 4, and just fill in the 0 in front of the decimal point. That will be 0.405. So that's how you get the decimal value of a fraction. Let's do one more. What if you can't find the denominator in multiples of or 100 or 1,000? What you can do is you can simply divide the numerator by denominator. So 9 divided by 8, and that will give us 1.125. So that's our decimal value. Once you have the decimal value, you just need to multiply by 100 to get the percent. So percent, you just need to move the decimal point to right side 2 times. And that there is our new decimal point. So we got 112.5%. So from these 3 examples, maybe we can summarize the rules changing fractions to decimal and to percent. So when you're given with the fraction, if you want to change that to the decimal, you can divide the numerator by denominator, and you will get the decimal value. And once you have the decimal value, how do we change that to the percent? You're going to multiply by 100 to get the percent value. And when you're multiplying by 100, what you're doing to the decimal point, you're moving the decimal point 2 times to the right side. Also, if you want to change the percent to figure out the decimal, and also if you want to find the decimal from the percent this way, then you would have to divide it by 100. And when you're dividing by 100, that means you're moving the decimal point 2 times to the left side this time. Let's do that with one more example. So when you're given with the decimal value 0.125 and you're finding the percent value of 0.125 is you can get it by moving the decimal point 2 times to the right side, like this. And our new decimal point will be in between 2 and 5. So it will be 12.5%. And what if you have the percent instead of decimal? Let's say 0.17%. Then you're finding the decimal by moving the decimal point, moving twice to the left side. 1, 2. So that will be our new place for the decimal point. And if there is any gap, if there is no number, then you will fill in with the 0. So it will be 0 over here and 0. Always start with the 0 before decimal point. So our decimal value of 0.17, it's 0.0017. Let's try one more example. So we have 25 and 3/5%. So it's a fractional percent value, and let's find the decimal in a fraction form of this percent. 25 is a whole number, so we don't have to change anything for that part. Let's find the decimal value of 3/5. So it's 25 and 3/5. 3/5 in decimal value, it's 0.6. You can get the 0.6 by dividing 3 divided by 5. So it's a 25.6% in decimal form. So once you have that decimal form of the percent, we're gonna use moving decimal point to get the decimal value. So to get the decimal, we're going to divide it by 100. So that means we're moving the decimal point 2 times to the left side. So it will be 0.256 for decimal. For the fraction, all you need to do is you put all the numbers or all the digits after decimal point in the numerator. It's 256, and then the denominator will be 1000. The reason is there are 3 digits after decimal point, so you're gonna fill in the denominator with the zeros, same number of zeros as the same number of the numbers after decimal point. So there are 3 numbers after decimal point. You're going to fill in with the 3 zeros and then put the 1 in front of the zeros, and that will be our numerator. Another way to look at it is because the 6 is 1000th place, so that's why we put the 1000 in the denominator. So our fraction form of 25 and 3/5% is 256 over 1000, and you can write it in this form, or you can reduce it to the lowest term, which is 128 over 500, okay, by dividing by 2. So that's it for today. So these are the examples for percents, converting percent, decimal, and fractions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.